guys, today you're going to learn about something called an alkane, and this is an organic compound. So if you think back, organic means it has carbon and hydrogen. So an alkane is a hydrocarbon that is saturated. So those are the two words that are important. Hydrocarbon means that it has C and H, hydro and carbon, and saturated means that we will only have single bonds. So the only lines you'll draw today will look like this. You will not do double bonds, you will not do triple bonds. Only single bonds today to make everything saturated. Okay? Now, for these alkanes, the prefix is important because that's going to tell you the number of carbons. So there's a good news and a bad news. Bad news is you got to learn new prefixes. The good news is some of them will be the same. So it's not all new, just some of them. So let's go through these. 1 means meth, yes, like the drug. 2 is eth, 3 is prop, 4 is bute, not but, bute. Then from there, the rest of them you know. 5 is pent, 6 is hex, 7 is hept, 8 is oct, 9 is non, 10 is dec. So there's 4 new ones here, and it's the first 4. The rest of them you're really good at already. So I have a trick, hopefully, that will help you remember those first 4. So maybe you have a friend that their name starts with an M. I do. Her name is Maria, and Maria eats peanut butter. So notice how I have an M, E, P, B. And that's just like my prefixes up here. M, E, P, B. So it goes right in order: meth, eth, prop, bute. And the number of carbons for each one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should help you keep them in order. So Maria eats peanut butter, 1, 2, 3, 4, means meth, eth, prop, bute. So that's the prefix, that's the beginning of each name. The ending for all of these will be ane. So what that means is I will have methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, decane. So all of these alkane endings is ane. Okay? Now, we have to figure out the hydrogen piece of this because the prefix will just tell us the number of carbons. So when you need to know how many hydrogens go with it, you're going to take whatever the carbon number is, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and you're going to double it and add 2. So however many carbons you have, times 2 plus 2 for the hydrogens. So let me show you how that works. In these boxes, we're going to write out the names. So the first one, for 1 carbon, the prefix is meth, and the ending is ane. For 2 carbons, the prefix is eth, and the ending is ane. So this means 1 carbon. This means 2 carbons. So keep going. And we're going to write more stuff in that box, so leave yourself the room. It's there for a reason. 3 carbons is prop, and the ending is ane. 4 carbons is bute, the ending is ane. So that's that many. So then we'll keep going. 5, the prefix is pent, the ending is always ane, so it's C5. 6 is hex, ane, that's with 6 carbons. If I keep going, 7 is hept, ane. 8 is octane. This is the gas you put in your car to make it go. 9 is nonane. 9 is there. And the last one is decane. And dec means that we have 10 carbons. So now what we need to do for each of these is figure out how many hydrogens each one has. So we're going to times 2 plus 2. So for the H's, I'm going to do 1 times 2 plus 2 equals 4. That means it's C1H4. Now remember, it's also okay if you just write CH4. You don't have to put that one. Alright, for ethane, I have 2 carbons times 2 plus 2 is 6. So the formula for ethane is C2H6. Propane, to figure out the hydrogens, take the 3 times 2 plus 2. is 8. C3H8. Butane, take the 4 times 2 plus 2, 10. So C4H10. So see if you can do the rest of these. Can you fill in the hydrogens for pentane through decane? Do times 2 plus 2 each time. So I know you've noticed the pattern that they go up by 2 every time, but the more important thing for you to remember is this: double it and add 2, right? You're not going to write out this whole sequence every time, so you need to know times 2 plus 2. That is the point. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually draw what this molecule looks like. And so the first rule is you're always going to put the carbon in the middle. And the next rule is that carbon will always form 4 bonds. That's what makes it so wonderful. Carbon forms 4 bonds all the time. And so it just so happens that we have 4 hydrogens to put on the other end of each bond. So this is a picture of the structure of what methane looks like. Okay, let's see if we can do the same thing for ethane. So ethane has 2 carbons that we're going to put in the middle. And first we're going to connect them to each other. So now this carbon has 1 bond, so I'm going to go 2, 3, 4 bonds. This other carbon has 1 bond, 2, 3, 4 bonds. So each carbon still has 4 lines coming out of it. It has 4 bonds. So on the other end of those bonds, you just put the H's. And now double check your work. How many H's did you put on here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what your formula said that you should have, 6 H's. So that's how you know you did it right. So try propane and butane on your own and then come back and compare with me. So propane has 3 carbons. I connect them like this. Then I make sure that each carbon has 4 bonds coming out of it. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This carbon has 2 bonds already, so there's 3 and there's 4. This carbon has 1 bond, 2, 3, 4. And then we just fill hydrogens all the way around. There's propane. For butane, I start with 4 carbons, connect them, and then I do 4 bonds on each carbon. Put H's all the way around, and I should be putting 10 H's in here. And that's it. Now you can keep going if you're really into this and you want to draw out pentane and all the other ones, but I think you get the idea at this point. So now what I'd like you to do is to try the questions at the bottom, and then you can compare your answers with me. Alright, let's check in with how you did. Here are answers for the questions at the bottom. If you've got any questions on this, let me know.